La Liga Smartbank action for the latest match day of the competition gets underway in this Friday night fixture. It's match day 26 and it's Tenerife up against Sporting Gijón here at the Heliodoro Rodriguez Lopez. It's a game with some added intrigue on the benches. It's Ruben Baraja going up against Miroslav Djukic. A first ever meeting in a coaching role between these two former Valencia players from that side that won the league together. We're going to have a look at the starting lineups, beginning of course with Tenerife, side hovering above the relegation zone. Up against Sporting, side of yet to really get going. 31 points for them to Tenerife's 26. Here's Tenerife's starting lineup. Danny in goal, Lasore Sipcic, Alberto and Luis Perez, Nahuel Sanz, Mia and Santana in the midfield. Dani Gomez and Jose Lu, the two strikers chosen by Ruben Baraja. Well, there is Miroslav Djukic, the man in the hot seat at Sporting Gijón. The two captains will meet in the middle alongside Mr. Arcediane Monesio, Carmona and Suso, the two respective skippers. Both experienced campaigners for their sides in this game, which is about to get underway at 8 p.m. local time, 9 o'clock on the Spanish mainland. Here's Sporting's lineup. Mourinho in goal, Perez, Babin, Valiente, Bogdan, Manu, Pedro Diaz, Salvador and Carmona, with Djurdjevic and Alvaro up top. 5 players, a single yellow card away from suspension for the next game. Sporting's contest against Mirandés, the side who was surprising in the Copa del Rey. Tenerife went out of the cup with that long Tuesday night game against Athletic Club. It ended on penalties, with the Canary Islanders eliminated from the competition. They put up a brave fight though. They were up against a side who were down to 10 men for most of the contest. This one's underway with Sporting kicking us off. They are going from left to right in the first half. It's Tenerife in the white shirts, blue shorts, going from right to left. Nice ball back here. It's played into the box, swept away. To the edge of the area now. That one's been overhit, and we're going to see a first corner kick of the game under a minute into the contest. Pedro Diaz takes it short. This one's whipped towards the back post. Sporting will try and put this in through Carmona. It's into the centre, headed up but not away. Babin with the header, scooped towards goal, saved by the keeper. It's the first intervention for the Tenerife stopper. This one bounces back. Tenerife will try and take it forward. Sporting Gijón won their last game 1-0 against Fuenlabrada. Certainly have better home form than away. Of the games they've won under Djukic, both have come at El Molinón, sandwiching a loss to Numancia on the road at the Nuevo Los Pajaritos. The last result for Tenerife was that 0-0 draw in the Canaries derby against Las Palmas. As we take a look at Miroslav Djukic, we will shortly have a look at Ruben Baraja, the coach for Tenerife, a former Sporting coach as well and a former teammate of Djukic at Valencia. The referee's over to have a word with Dani Lasure. Djurdjevic, the man down. Played onto the left-hand side, it's going to be chipped down the line by Babin. Flicked over onto the right-hand side, we might see a pass through here, it's down the right channel, run by Dani Gomez. Still Gomez going inside and out, he pulls that towards the penalty spot, it evades Suso Santana. Well, it was a tricky move from Tenerife, and they just got in each other's way, the players inside the box. Had that one been left for Nahuel Leiva, we would likely be looking at the opening goal just 3 minutes in. That short pass is by Nahuel. Until Sanz plays it to Suso. He tries to make his way through the middle. He's got it over to the right-hand side. Gets it off the back heel. Tenerife playing with the dual strikers today, Joselu and Dani Gomez. Sporting stick with a two-man front line as well, Alvaro Vasquez and Djurdjevic. Little flick here onto the left, Dani Lasure. It's gone loose, taken on here by Nahuel. He's put on some pace. Again, the pass isn't the greatest and it's behind the player in there, and the follow-up shot is deflected away by a defender. Tenerife will go again, 5 minutes gone. Luis Perez playing it into the box where it trickles back to Diego Marinho. Another ball across, a dangerous one there, met by Hernandez. Both goalkeepers active in the early going. Long cross-field ball there. The intended target was Luis Perez. It was Luis Milla with an ambitious ball. There, another look at the chance. Hernandez quickly onto it. Played into the middle, there's a call for it. On the right from Carlos Carmona. More conservative ball is played. This one is over to Carmona though. It has time to get the cross in. Nobody can reach it at the back post. Nahuel Well, the defence just opened up for him, and Nahuel keeps on going. Suso. Nahuel tries the turn, it's gone out of play. It will be a corner for Tenerife. This one on its way in. It's over towards the penalty spot when it's headed in. Sivcic with the goal. Tenerife are in front. It's the towering defender, perhaps the tallest man on the pitch, who heads past Diego Marinho. Tenerife's first corner results in Tenerife's first goal. Well, Mourinho saw it, he made a dive to his left, but by then the ball already on its way in. Tenerife 1, Sporting Gijón 0. Less than 10 minutes played here in the Canary Islands. There we see Ruben Baraka, his side, taking the early lead against his former club, of course. Did not have the most successful spell at Sporting Gijón. Tenerife in possession. Back by Alberto Jimenez over to the right-hand side. Lasure to Nahuel, quickly cut out there. But it's come back to those white shirts and blue shorts. On the right, kept in play. Perez squaring up to it, it's played back out. Those two strikers for Tenerife were waiting on the edge of the box. They've dropped out now. Suso wants the 1-2. It's allowed to roll through though by Dani Gomez, courtesy of his miscontrol. Back to the keeper, Hernandez, who has had to make some interventions so far. Tapped out of the path of Mia, and it's cleared by Milovanov. Out of play again. Luis Mia with the last touch on that. Back to Marinho. One of the better shot stoppers in the second division. Player who does have plenty of La Liga experience as well. Has been on the books at Levante and Villarreal. On to the left, Sporting players showing for it. Djurdjevic and Vasquez were too close together there. Here's Milovanov. Manu Garcia onto the right. It's a low ball in. Well left, and there's still work to do. That shot doesn't come off. Christian Salvador and Carmona both trying to get that one across the line. They don't quite manage it. The closest chance so far for Sporting Gijón. One goes through the defence, played back to Hernandez. We have seen some shaky moments in both defences so far, as well as the opening goal of the game scored by Nikola Sivcic. Lots of space here for a run through. It's played onto the left-hand side. Pedro Diaz. Tap to Luis Mia. He turns back. Plays into the space. It's Nahuel trying for a 1-2, but he wrong-footed his teammate. Jimenez. Here's another look. It was left there by Vasquez. They were all tussling for the ball. Christian Salvador was the closest to firing off a shot before it was taken to Carmona. The angle too narrow by then. Another chance breaks down for Tenerife. Scooped down the line. Played into the centre here. Set up for a shot. It was a soft one as Suso Santana contorted his body to hit the ball on the half volley. The cross in was by Lasure. It was rising when it reached Suso. Back to Diego Marinho. Both sides building from the back so far. The goal has not really lit the touch paper. It's still a slightly reserved affair, albeit with opportunities for both teams, and balls sent towards the opposition area for both sides. And down the line, this one from Babin is going back to Diego Marinho. He goes long with it, one straight back by Tenerife. Double back, that one's rolled to the goalkeeper Marinho. It will go upfield. Tenerife have it. We're coming up to 20 minutes played. They lead the way with a goal from Sipcic. Controlled, played in early. It's collected on the edge of the area. Luis Milla now. Side-footed ball over to the right, requiring an acrobatic attempt to keep it in. The referee pauses play again. We haven't seen an abundance of fouls so far. It's been a very clean contest so far, but that was a dangerous high foot from Suso Santana. The referee not about to let him get away with that one. It's just the third foul committed, as we're almost halfway through the first half. Some of these Tenerife players will be tired after their efforts in midweek in the Copa del Rey. "120 minutes plus penalties. Small mercies is that they did this at the Estadio Heliodoro Rodriguez Lopez. They did not have to travel to the Basque Country. Slightly more manageable run of fixtures. As a result, the ball's coming into the box, played across. It was a nonchalant take there by Milovanov. Djurdjevic was looking for it, as was Alvaro Vasquez. It's a low trajectory. This one's headed on. There's another look at a more accurate header. Sipcic rising high above Babin. Got above Marc Valiente as well. Sent half clear. It's been brought down by Pedro Diaz. He's found Alvaro Vasquez. Vasquez uses the decoy to play the ball into the centre. Overhead kick attempt, and that's wide. Well, it was great thinking, but Djurdjevic's shot off target flicked that on for the overhead kick. It would have been a spectacular goal. The referee calls play back. Vasquez was trying to take that on. He would have had space ahead of him if he was able to make the turn. Now it's Tenerife who charge upfield. Fallen loose for Perez. He strikes the ball with the offside flag. Had already gone up. It was a good parry away in any case. The strike coming from the right foot of Luis Perez. That spins loose, but Hernandez is straight over to the edge of the area to make the claim. Babin. Back into the sporting half with Marc Valiente. Carmona. That's headed out, set up for a strike which is closed down. Oh, ricochet into the centre, it's headed back to Babin. Sporting Gijón playing with exactly the same side that were featured against Fuenlabrada. That's Perez who's taken a knock by his namesake. Well, he indicates that it was okay. It was a late challenge there. Sliding through the man. Ah, well, has that nicked off his foot. Short throw, and it's back with Sporting Gijón. Both sides have had opportunities since that Sivcic goal. That one's intercepted. An appeal for handball is eventually given. Have been flicked up by Lasure and hit the arm of Milovanov. Perez. That was loose into the box, claimed quickly by Hernandez. Well, it's become a little bit stop-start as we head towards the final quarter hour of the first half. Babin. There's an opening here on the right-hand side for Milovanov. It never goes that far as it's played over the top. The keeper improvises to hook that away. The offside flag was already raised. First inkling of a one-on-one opportunity, though, for either side. They've been disciplined in defence so far. That a very controversial decision, because it looks as if the striker Dani Gomez was on. In any case, the goalkeeper was able to clear. A sliding challenge there was by Christian Salvador. Another long ball. Perhaps Tenerife have sensed that they can enjoy some success with these kinds of chances. Passes the box, it evades Carmona, who's been putting himself about. Pedro Diaz trying to intercept there. Another foul given inside the centre circle. Just over 10 minutes to go before half-time. A cross comes in towards the penalty spot. Sporting had everyone back. They were looking for an outlet. They have an option on the left and an option on the right as well. Djurdjevic will go towards the middle with his run. Looks for the ball. He knew he wasn't going to reach it with the two centre-backs ahead of him. Further complaints being made to the referee. That one seemed fairly cut and dry though. The quickly taken free kick is saved by Diego Mourinho. That was a look at the free kick. It was played quickly. Permission had been asked of the referee for it to be taken. Of course, the attacking side under no obligation to keep the defending side waiting to set up a wall or position the players. "35 minutes have elapsed. An early goal from Sipcic, still the difference between the two teams. Delivered clear there, and it looks like an injury for Hernandez. Holding his hamstring. Ortola is the substitute goalkeeper on the bench. It's looking likely as if Ortola is going to have to be brought on. He said he was injured and then had to deliver the ball clear. That clearance proving to be the final straw. Danny Hernandez saying he's okay, but he's slumped to the ground again. No sooner had he indicated he was going to be okay than he goes down once more. Ortola is going to have to be brought on here. Tenerife players offer their commiserations. Hernandez has to go off. He's replaced by Ortola. Here's how it happened. Off the goal kick, looks like a groin strain for the South American goalkeeper. Well, he wanted to stay on, but in the end his body just gave up on him. Ortula is going to be welcomed onto the field of play for the final 5 minutes or so of the first half, and then the entirety of the second period. With a shake of the head, Ortula heads off and will likely receive a checkup down the tunnel. Disappointment for the Tenerife goalkeeper, who at least takes his place on the bench. Well, it's sportingly given back to Tenerife. Who in turn try and knock it upfield. Babin. That injury will add a significant amount of stoppage time to the end of the first half. Ushered back by Pettis, he plays it out off Djurdjevic. Tenerife goalkeeper Ortula will get a first touch under the kind of relaxed circumstances that do a goalkeeper the world of good. No doubt this one challenged for. Scooped over the top. Attempt to double back there, unsuccessful. Babin. Vasquez has pulled over to the left-hand side. Looks as if he's swapped places with Djurdjevic in that front two for Sporting. Djurdjevic to Milovanov. That one's kept in play by Milovanov. Squares it, and it's sent over the top by Alvaro Vasquez. At times, his finishing has been lacking. That one squared to him. He was the obvious choice to take the shot. It was all about the good work from the Ukrainian Milovanov. But Vasquez has to hit the target from there. Motula. It's on the right, brought inside. Motula's clearance. Joselu. Headed down, this one's gathered up. Well, we're closing in on half-time. We'll have a little bit of stoppage time added on, of course. Several pauses in play, including that which resulted from the injury to Ortola. Or the injury that brought on Ortola with Hernandez unable to continue. Four minutes are going to be added on, to be precise. And this one is a scramble, and it's struck in. 2-0 to Tenerife. Joselu with the goal. Well converted from the edge of the area. Sporting failed to get it clear. And Joselu is the man who's able to capitalise. A second goal, which makes things all the more comfortable for the home side. Babin with the mistake. It struck first time by Joselu, who still had work to do. Babin is going to come in for criticism for the defending there. Tenerife 2, Sporting Gijón 0. The action continues in stoppage time at the end of the first half at the Heliodorio Rodriguez Lopez. Across the halfway line. Babin to Christian Salvador. That's lifted to the right, headed on. It was taken down the right. It looks as if the ball might have gone out of play there. It has now. So here comes the corner. Third of the game for Sporting Gijón. Headed down. Easy claim for Ortola. and a long chases on for the ball. Cleared by Mourinho. Inside, we're into the final minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first half. Already one change has been forced for Tenerife. We'll see if any adjustments are made for the second half for either side by coaches Djukic and Baraja, facing one another for the first time in their coaching careers. It's a chance maybe for Sporting. Vasquez with the back heel. Carmona wide. And that is the final touch of the first half. It was set up for Carlos Carmona. He got it onto his left foot, but the shot off target from him. We go into half-time. And it's Tenerife 2, Sporting Gijón 0. The second half is almost on its way. And the Estadio Heliodoro Rodriguez Lopez. It's 2-0 to Tenerife, the home side. Courtesy of an early goal and a late goal. It has come at a price though, and Hernandez, the goalkeeper, has had to be replaced through injury. Ortola has come on in his place. A big mistake from that man Babin, ending up with the second goal finding its way into the net. Sipcic with the opener. The second goal, a timely strike from Joselu. Well, the Sporting players are out. We're waiting for the Tenerife 11 to head onto the field of play. The substitutes have taken their spots on the bench. Well, someone will get knocking on the Tenerife players' doors. Here they come, the boys in white and blue. They will be shooting from left to right in the second half, led out by Suso Santana. So we'll get this second half started. Looks like no changes for either side from the teams which closed out the first half. There's a discussion with Ortola as to what he's permitted to bring onto the field of play. It appears a change of footwear is required for Ortola. A Sporting player going across to the referee and saying, let's get this one started. Well, rather bizarre circumstances to start off the second half. It looks like a change of socks is required. Ruben Baraja taking the delay in his stride. So Ortola is going to make the change. Not allowed to wear those white socks underneath the red apparel. Well, further complaints to the referee. This one has been long and drawn out. We're going to have a 7-minute delay in starting off the second period. Extraordinary stuff. And this opener for Match day 26. And finally, once the gloves are on, we will get this second half started. An extraordinary delay. Tenerife will finally kick us off with the second half in just a second. It's been a busy week for them with that derby last Saturday. The defeat on penalties to Athletic Club on Tuesday night. And finally, Otola takes his spot between the sticks. Tenerife will kick off part 2 of this game. Tenerife, the side in the white shirts and the blue shorts, going from left to right. Played in from the right-hand side, well chested down. Sporting were not without their opportunities in the first half. Carmona had a good shout. Babin. That's clipped into the area. It was Pedro Diaz looking for a teammate. It's come back out to Dani Lasure. Sporting gather this one up. Neither side pressing too high up the pitch. Here's Vasquez. He had a good chance which he put over the crossbar in the opening half. That one's overhit. It will go out for a throw. Tapped into the centre. Carmona finds the space over on the right. Chested down and cleared. Booted upfield by Aitor Sanz. This one to run onto for Dani Gomez. Hooked away this time by Babin. Taken on and turned by Djurdjevic, who's dropped deep to collect the ball. He lays it off, waits for a return pass. That one's sent over. Djurdjevic fouled there. He plays the free kick quickly. It's going to be retaken. Played out by Mourinho. Hit skyward by Lasure. It's just about cleared by Tenerife. Well, it's been a back and forth opening 5 minutes in the second half. Aitor Sanz pleads his innocence. He's given away a free kick here in an interesting position. Look at the positioning of Djurdjevic and Vasquez once again playing in almost each other's space. They've parted ways now. Djurdjevic is trying to sneak around the back of the wall. And finds its way into the box, not quite cleared by Tenerife. Shades of Babin's mistake in the first half. Run down the right by Perez. Djurdjevic with the sliding challenge. He covers so much ground to get back and make that intervention. Pulled down by Perez, flicks it down the line. Players are warming up for Sporting. They've yet to make a substitution. Babin. Upcoming games for both of these sides get no easier. Tenerife at least get a week to prepare, having been eliminated from the Copa del Rey. This one's played towards the back post. It might be struck here by Perez. He took one touch to control, plays it across the face of goal and is cleared from outside the 6-yard box. Sporting straight back, and it's another one cleared, this time by Jimenez. Tenerife's next game against strugglers Extremadura. And it's Rayo Vallecano, Elche and Oviedo. Sporting play Mirandés, Racing, Cadiz and Ponferradina in recent weeks. This shot is blocked. Well, with the player down on the far side, the referee trudges over. Several players are just one yellow card away from being suspended for the next game. 5 players for Sporting. The referee yet to produce a card. Perez. It has been a rather stop-start beginning to the second half. But a quick free kick from Tenerife nearly catches out the Sporting backline. Here comes the cross in from Perez, cleared this time by Babin. Lasure. This one's played cleverly to Gomez. He tries to tap it past Mourinho, who makes the save at his near post. Sporting now attack. This one drops inside the penalty area. Right to Sanz, improvises to clear. Sanz found some space here on the right-hand side. In the middle, we might see a shot here from Suso Santana. He tried to do too much there and play through to Nahuel. It's come back out to Aito Sanz. Here's the shot. It's wide of the mark. It looked so promising there for Suso Santana. Here's another look at the shot that was tapped towards goal by Gomez. Back with Babin. We're closing in on the hour mark here. Looked into the box, a real hash made of clearing that before finally it's delivered outside the penalty area. Run down the right-hand side, we'll see a ball played back here, shot by Carmona, parried away by Ortola. An important save made by the keeper, who came on having perhaps not expected to feature in this game. He sends away the shot from Carmona. This one's headed down by Babin, tried to make amends for his earlier mistake. His header wide of the mark. The corner, a decent delivery from Perez. Babin rose highest, but couldn't guide the ball inside the sticks. Well, the referee left with no choice but to show a yellow card of this incident. It's a Tenerife player down. A yellow card shown to Manu Garcia. Free kick now for Tenerife, final half hour coming up. Everything could change in this one. Sporting have had opportunities. Tenerife still hanging on to that 2-0 lead and have had chances to add to it. Babin with a header away. Nicely intercepted here. It ricochets around the 6-yard box before going to Aitor Sanz. Gathered up by Marinho. Tenerife today missing Carlos Ruiz, but he will be back available for their next game against Extremadura. They're about to make their second substitution. Having already brought on Ortola, Iker Undabarrena will be the next man on. Oh, with another man down, the referee has his yellow card ready and waiting. Pedro Diaz escapes a booking there. Looks like it's going to be a double switch, or at least Suso Santana's been given some instructions. Undabarrena comes on. There is a round of applause for Joselu, the scorer of Tenerife's second goal. Here's another look at it. He has some good fortune as Babin makes a big mistake. The finish, a good one from Joselu. Slipped up there, there's a pass onto the left-hand side. Pedro Diaz has it. Clever ball from him. Here comes that ball, drilled across the face of goal. It's from Aitor Garcia, player who's come on as a substitute. Somewhat unsighted by the cameras. Garcia's ball Doesn't get a touch off the goalkeeper, who was close. We'll see another change for Sporting coming up. They're in need of a reaction quickly. That's Babin hooking it away from Gomez. Short pass by Babin. It's gone over to the right-hand side. Down the line and will go out for a goal kick. And pause in play allows the substitution to be made. It's going to be Traver who comes on. Replacing Carlos Carmona. Those are some big shoes to fill. Carmona, who's had a few chances in the game. Babin decides against putting that back to his goalkeeper instead. Sends it away from Gomez. Dos Sanz. Foul was called there. Luis Milla, not averse to scoring from free kicks. Stands over this one. Looks as if he's going to send it over into the box, though. Plays the back stick, and that goes out under little pressure. It will be a corner kick. There's an appeal there for a penalty. It's a glancing header, and it looks as if it hits the arm of the Sporting player. It was by his side, and thus no spot kick is given. Headed away at the near post. No follow-up shot from Sanz. Instead, a counter-attack nearly started by Sporting. Aito Garcia was looking for it high up in his own half. Headed towards goal. It lacked power, it lacked placement. And Perez's effort in the end, a soft one. And a relatively straightforward claim for Ortola. Possession just about as even as you can get. Neither side truly on top of this contest. That's a misplaced pass. How much will tiredness affect things for Tenerife after their momentous effort in midweek against Athletic Club? Game on a Tuesday, a game on a Friday. Sprint down the right-hand side. This one's played in, caught by the keeper. Tamped down the line. Jimenez was going over for it. He wasn't about to be dissuaded. Slides in there, catches Traver for good measure. Sipcic. His goal set the wheels in motion for Tenerife to go on and win this game. There is still 20 minutes to go, though. It's certainly not an insurmountable advantage that Tenerife hold over the side from Asturias. Back with Ortola. Clip down the line, and Perez met it first. Ortola. This one goes down the right-hand side. It's controlled, turned. Little slip and slide there by Gomez. Put into the centre, but this one will be dug clear. The referee again calls play back. Alberto Jimenez has been putting himself about a bit. The foul was on Djurdjevic, the striker, who's had a couple of chances. Has not really come close to scoring, though. Babin plays over to the right. Christian Salvador. Now Perez. Salvador again with a short pass. Right-footed shot, close down. It was Iker Barrena, the second half sub, who went in with the challenge. into the middle. Lovely bit of footwork there. Djukic looking rather dismayed. As another stoppage is called. Suso Santana. Babin gets it clear from the box. It will be Luis Perez with the throw-in. Suso Santana waiting for the delivery to his feet. There's just the one player waiting in the middle. It's Danny Gomez. And that is a wild hit that goes well out of play. One that brings Ruben Baraja onto the edge of his penalty area, or his technical area. Nahuel can't keep going. Pedro Diaz. And other substitutions on its way. It looks like Pablo Perez is coming on for Sporting Gijón for the final quarter hour. Sipcic and Joselu's goals, the difference between the two sides on the score sheet at the moment. Turned back and forth, this one's clipped to the left. Tenerife holding on to possession. Out of play by Danny Lasseray, he got the last touch on it. So making way is Djurdjevic. It hasn't been his most effective of games. He's replaced by Pablo Perez. Was kept in. Tenerife players weren't sure as to who had got the last touch on that. They were taking no chances. How long before Tenerife start trying to run down the clock? That was Nahuel trying the bit of skill. It's turned out with a free kick on the right-hand side. Headed harmlessly away. It will be a throw-in high up the field. Tenerife are going to make another change. Alex Munoz to come on, as the home side look to be on course for victory here. Taken upfield by Tenerife. Into the box, there's no angle there for a shot. No support for an assist either. It's going to be another change for Tenerife. Alex Munoz to come on. He replaces Nahuel Leiva. Nahuel takes his time, heading off the pitch. Alex Munoz comes on. He will have a 10-minute cameo in this one. Blasted into the stands. Alberto Jimenez taking no chances. Throw in for Tenerife. After this game, they will have a rest, both teams. Much needed for Tenerife, and they will feel that it's job well done. Out of the Copa del Rey, but picking up the 3 points tonight against Sporting Gijón, should things stay the same. Into the box, and it's tapped in. The comeback might be on here for Sporting. A well-taken finish on the slide makes it 2-1. It's Perez, the late substitute, who's made things interesting here at the Estadio Heliodoro Rodriguez Lopez. Still time for Sporting to nick a point here. Perez makes the run. The defenders were caught napping. Jimenez had switched off as Perez raced behind him. Finishing off on the slide. Well, can they do it, Sporting Gijón? The momentum will be in their favour. That spins into the box, it goes out. Sporting keep it high up the pitch. Perez trying to close down the defender. And takes a deflection, it goes behind. It will be a corner kick. 5 more minutes plus stoppages. Sporting with a chance. Babin has gone forward. The defender gets touched tight on him. It goes towards Babin. It's headed away before reaching him, though. Another corner, played quickly, played short. And now delivered into the box, headed away. Here's the follow-up. Just slightly too much underneath it. As it goes awkwardly over the top from Perez. Here's another look at the goal. VAR saying no offside. The referee wants no time wasting here. There's another look at that shot, right on the edge of the area by Perez. And it looks as if it even bounced off the crossbar. Played into the area. And back out again for another corner. Sporting turning up the heat in the latter stages of the game. It's an outswinger. Comes down, that's struck out of play. This time it's Aitor Garcia with an unsuccessful attempt. Aitor Sanz is down. How much of that is running down the clock? How much of that is a serious knock? We shall see. It was a clash between the two players, plus a shove in the back. And the Sporting player is actually down receiving treatment. Looks as if he's been bloodied as well. Some saying that it was the back of his head that took that blow. It's opened up a cut just above the eyebrow of the Sporting player. Being bandaged up in order to get 11 players onto the pitch. Short pass out by Babin. Flick to the right. This one finds its way into the box. It's going to be pulled across. Sporting certainly persistent. Another one swept in. Ortola makes the catch. Ortola slips here. It's given away to Sporting. It's a long attempt to get the ball into the box. Ortola was caught wrong-footed. We are coming up to the final whistle. We're about to go into stoppage time. Right-footed strike flies into the stands. Alberto Jimenez is helped back up. 4 minutes are going to be added on. Brought across the halfway line by the visiting side. In from the right. That one out of play. Perez backs up, it's going to be a goal kick. Possession just slightly in Sporting's favour. There's a collision. Has left another Tenerife player on the deck. Several players walking wounded right now in stoppage time. So Santana suffering a spot of cramp. Little flick is sent too long. Dani Gomez was never going to reach it. What a stumble over there. The decision goes in Sporting's favour. They want to lump it upfield as quickly as possible. Hence Mourinho urging everybody forward. Babin's gone up. Another loose ball here. Tenerife get it away any which way they can. It's come to Suso Santana. The challenge will come in here. And that one's put into touch. Gomez was running through the centre. Suso could never find the angle to thread through the pass. Suso Santana helped back up. Čukić on course for defeat. Baraja seemingly set to take the victory against his former side and his former teammate. Oh, the referee blows the final whistle. Tenerife take a 2-1 victory. Sporting making it interesting towards the end with that goal. But it's a defeat for the side from Asturias. Victory for the side from the Canary Islands. An important triumph for them, which starts off the match day with them assured of not being inside the relegation zone come the end of the weekend. The final score in this matchday 26 opener: Tenerife 2, Sporting 1.
Sí, aquí estamos, Héctor, seguimos esperando porque están los jugadores de Tenerife en el centro del campo, conjurándose después de esta victoria importantísima. Los aficionados del Sporting que han venido hasta Rodríguez López también están viendo cómo los jugadores se han acercado allí para ovacionarles y para hacerles el apoyo durante el partido. Pablo, con el goleador del Sporting de Gijón estamos. Pablo, qué pena porque ese gol ha llegado demasiado tarde quizás, ¿no?
Sí, bueno, al final creo que apretamos.